Hi, I'm Don Shanks. I played Michael Myers in Halloween 5.
I'm Ellie Cornell. I'm proud to have played Rachel Carruthers in Halloween 4 and 5.
Hey guys, this is Danielle Harris, Jamie Lloyd from the Halloween franchise.
I'm so thrilled to be on the Don't Go There podcast.
And you are listening to the Don't Go Out There horror movie review podcast.
You're listening to Don't Go Out There, the horror podcast. And remember, the boogeyman never dies.
In a world where zombies, ghosts, serial killers, and vampires all exist, it's Nico, Brian, Mike, and Dustin, and they are all that stand between you and the films that could end the world. Welcome to the Don't Go Out There Horror Movie Podcast.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Don't Go Out There Horror Movie Podcast. Just want to thank all of our fans and listeners. Really appreciate the support. You guys are awesome. Before we get into tonight's film review, just want to give a quick shout out to our website, don'tgoouthere.com. Everything about our podcast is on the website. All of our episodes and interviews, if you want to check those out. We've done some incredible interviews in the past. Go check them out there in a specific tab by themselves so you don't have to scroll through hundreds of episodes on Apple or Spotify, etc. We also have our store if you want to grab a shirt, a mouse pad, a hat, all that good stuff. We'd love to see your pictures, rep your favorite podcast. And Shan's Etsy page is also attached if you want to grab a tumbler. All of our social media links are on there as well. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Like us, subscribe us, follow us, all that good stuff. And the last thing I want to shout out on our website is our Patreon. We call it Blood Donors. We have the traditional monthly reoccurring kind. If you want to support us, help us pay the bills, as we say. Or if there's a movie you want us to review, that option is available as well. Just check out our website, don'tgoouthere.com. Also, if you haven't noticed, we've recently joined the Believe Network. So there's some ads on our program now. But if you want ad-free content, go check us out on Blood Donors. The ad-free episodes will be available there. We appreciate your support. We hope you enjoy the episode.
Lay you down and
all things we better stop. Brian might leave this thing in. Happy Halloween, everybody. Happy Halloween, everybody. We are taking on our annual Halloween film review. Taking on Mike's personal favorite. I'm just kidding. I know he hates this movie with all of his heart. But we're taking on Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers, I think is what it is. It doesn't matter. This movie is not good at all. We got some commenters on social media who, have some nostalgia for it, grew up with it. And I get that. And I'd have a little bit as well, just from growing up as a kid watching these movies. The barn scene, the garden rake scene, they stick out to me. But as you get older watching these movies, this one's just not good at all. Like, it's easily bottom, 3 in the franchise, bottom 2 in the franchise. But to quote Tyler Labine, that is how business is done, and we got to review it anyway. So, Halloween 5 time it is. Mike, go ahead with your thoughts. Unleash.
I'm going to unleash at the end. I just wanted to start out by saying, you're wrong, Nico. I've been messing with you guys the last 6 years. I fucking love this movie. This movie is towards the tippy top. I'm fucking kidding. This movie fucking blows donkey balls, man. I hate this movie, okay? And, I'm not going to lie. We've covered worse in this calendar year. Looking at you, Sean Irwin, thanks a lot. We've covered worse, but nothing offends my senses worse as a Halloween fan than this fucking movie, okay? Now, granted, The Mask in 4 is worse. This ain't much better, so I'm going to call that a wash, to be honest. Someone said this looks like Steve Buscemi mixed with William Shatner. Kind of hard to unsee that now. Saw that on the internet. This mask is fucking awful. Dude, I had a really hard time writing down my closing thoughts because that's really when shit's going to hit the fan. But I got progressively more angry again while watching this fucking bag of dog shit lit on fire. It sucks. It has so many problems. It takes what 4 did really well, and 4 is not a perfect movie. I mean, we've talked about 4. It's a good one, right? It's a good follow-up sequel in the Halloween franchise, and then it takes what 4 does and just totally shits all over it. I mean, it is just ridiculous what they do with the character of Jamie Lloyd, what they do with the character of Rachel. We have fucking Tina as one of the main characters. I'll save my thoughts on that. Loomis is a fucking madman, psychotic, idiot, old guy running around yelling at children. Like, what is this movie? How did the people, and Dustin, you're going to, maybe you have this in your fun facts, I don't know, but I can't believe one of the writers for this piece of shit also wrote the entire, or, was the producer, director, helping in the writing of Boy Meets World for the entire run of the franchise, Michael Jacobs. What the fuck, Mike? Huh? How can you do something so good as Boy Meets World and then do this bag of dog shit? It pisses me off to even talk about it, so I'm going to shut the fuck up. Fuck this movie, man. I'm glad we're finally covering it so I can get it all out there and I never have to watch it again unless it is Brian or Dustin's last wish before they die to make me watch it. And to that I will say, fuck you, what a stupid wish.
To your Jacobs question, I offer this as rebuttal. Danny McBride, brilliant. Eastbound and Down, Vice Principals, some of the best television shows ever. And he was involved in Halloween Ends. He was one of the writers.
True.
On that. So
True.
They can't all be 10s.
Go ahead, Brian, with your thoughts.
All right. So, yeah, I've definitely messed with Mike about liking this movie, but that's just me fucking with him. I mean, this movie is ass juice. And listen, I hate Halloween Ends, and I don't say this often, but Mike may be right on this one. I mean, this may be the worst one. I pretty much hate everything about this one. We talked pretty substantially on Halloween 4 last year. It's one of my top 3 favorites, Halloween 4. And the way that they ended it, and it did nothing but set this up for success, and they still fucked it up. I mean, to say this was rushed is an understatement. I know Mike and I both have read the book, the Halloween book, Taking Shape, and that kind of talks about all of the unmade sequels, a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff. It's cool. Hell, we've talked about it before extensively on here, I believe. But Shem Bitterman actually wrote the first draft of the script for this, and continuing with what we all wanted to see with Jamie Lloyd becoming evil, and Akkad cut it and hired Michael Jacobs and some Frenchman, Dominique Girard, to edit that script, and we get this insanity. And Mike will touch on it, I'm sure, but this is the lowest grossing film in the franchise for a reason. Like, Dominique is just bad. His original idea, and I'll stop talking about it, was to make Michael sympathetic, and people wanted to kill Michael, and Loomis was the only one who could see that he was good now and the evil has left him. What? God. And I recommend anyone buying the book Taking Shape, and Taking Shape 2 as well. I think that's out now. They're great reads. The writer for part 4, Little, said that he didn't come back because the ending to 4 was, quote, so perfect in a way that I didn't know what to do after that, quote. So there you have it. And I'm sure this review is going to be fun.
I hearken back to the pandemic when a younger Michael and a younger Dustin.
I had hair then, Dustin. Movies. I had hair.
Yeah. And, we watched 4 and I was like, yeah, 4 is not bad. That's a fine movie. And then we get to 5 and we're both like, ugh. This movie sucks. Like, I found my ranking from the first 31 on 31, and of the Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, and Friday the 13th movies, I had this one ranked 28th out of 31. Now at the time, we're missing 2 Halloween movies that released after we did that ranking. So it wouldn't go any higher though. Even Halloween Ends, I would much rather watch Halloween Ends than this movie.
Not even close.
It's not close. This movie sucks. The mask is awful. The story's awful. There's so many plot holes and just shortcuts and conveniences taken. It's just, and then not so many, I guess, but we get too many kills off screen for me. Kills that could have been and should have been better. We do get a couple good kills and one that I absolutely love. But this movie is not good, man.
Go ahead, Mike. What was you going to say?
Yeah, I do. Dustin, you mentioned plot holes. Buddy, so peek behind the curtain. I read occasionally. I know, shocker. But I've read, not just listened, I've also listened, but I've also read both Taking Shape books by by Dustin McNeil and Travis Mullins. The first book goes behind the scenes of all the Halloween movies made up until that point. The second one is like a follow-up to all the unmade movies that didn't get made. A lot of those were much better than we got for Halloween 5, including the original script for this movie, which would have been significantly better than what we got. Actually, it may have been one of my favorites in the franchise had it been made, but it wasn't. This pack of shit was made. And director, hold on, let me see, because I have a hard time pronouncing his name. Dominic Gerard. I'm not even going to try to pronounce the hyphenated part. He, you mentioned plot holes, Dustin. He just did stuff to, I'm going to catch the audience off guard. I'm going to surprise them with no follow-up. Oh, awesome. Great, you fuckstick. I can't wait to shit all over him. And he's smug, cocky, and arrogant in his Taken Shape interview, too. Fuck you, Dominic.
And not to mention, there's, I don't even know how to say this. There's a sound effect. There's a sound effect assigned to two characters that just pisses me off to no ends. When the cops talk and you get that stupid clown horn, oh, I almost put my chair through my TV.
You mentioned the pandemic. I remember your text when that happened. Bro, did they just play fucking clown music while these go on? I was like, yeah, man. This movie, dog shit.
This is Halloween. This isn't Five Nights at Freddy's. Like, this isn't supposed to be a teen horror movie where you're trying to be funny and stuff at the same time. Five Nights at Freddy's not even as stupid as this one. I was just throwing one out there. But that alone is grounds for this movie to just be defecated upon.
Yeah, and Mustafa Akkad, the executive producer, is, now in the future, has, met up with Ellie Cornell and apologized to her. You can go listen to our interview with her at don'tgoouthere.com. Just search for that. He's apologized for how they treated her character, what they did with Jamie Lloyd making her mute. Like, there's just a lot of problems with this movie. Like, on top of, like, the just silly noises, just, like, you really ruined two good characters from Halloween 4, and like, I just don't understand why they allowed that. Because you can easily fix that.
Can you imagine? This was supposed to be the last appearance for Loomis. I don't like Halloween 6 a ton, but that is a much better last appearance on screen for Donald Pleasance in this character. Could you imagine this being the last film for fucking Dr. Loomis? Kiss my ass, man. And he was happy about it, too. That's why I don't like this fucking director. He was like, oh, it's the last appearance for him as far as I'm concerned. Fuck you, man. Donald Pleasance is much better than whoever the fuck you are. Anyway, sorry. I'm sorry. I'll calm down.
Yeah, just one more thing before I go. And again, I know I've said on here before too, but the Thorn plot gets started in this. I mean, you guys talked about it. And while I do like parts of 6, the Thorn plot is definitely stupid. I mean, I just kind of choose to ignore it, if that makes sense. Like the insane rules in Nightmare on Elm Street, or Jason's crazy inconsistencies, like being a deadite that some ignore, or, growing up between 1 and 2. But I just choose to not really pay much attention to that part. Also, shout out Don Shanks, who played Myers. Find his interview, don'tgoouthere.com, a professional podcasting service.
I know y'all are going to be doing a lot of bitching tonight during the scene-by-scene breakdown. So, speaking of scene-by-scene, let me go ahead and try and not stutter through this. Let's get to it. The film starts with opening credits as we get quick cuts inside of a pumpkin getting carved up with a butcher knife. We pick up at the end of Halloween 4 with Myers getting run over, the mob arriving, and Jamie holding Myers' hand. She's ordered away and they open fire on him. He falls through a grave and we see him tumble below. He sneaks out and makes it into the swift current of the river. Myers grabs hold of a net and makes it into the shack. He goes back inside and Myers grabs his throat and then collapses. 1 year later, Halloween Eve at the children's clinic, Jamie Lloyd is having nightmares reliving the night she killed her mother. She awakes panicking and the nurse consoles her. Her movements seem to wake Myers up as we see Michael sit up and put his mask back on. Jamie writes, "He's coming for me," on a chalkboard. Myers kills the mountain man as Jamie continues to panic. Loomis appears saying she will stabilize, and he's right. She has something to tell us, Loomis says. Loomis goes to Jamie's room and we see Rachel asleep. Rachel opens the window for Tina and Max the dog. Jamie is excited to see the dog and hugs Tina. Loomis enters, ruining the fun as everyone leaves. Rachel says she'll be back in 2 days and hugs her bye. A brick is thrown through the window and we hear tires peeling away. The note says the child must die. Folks are scared of her because Michael is her uncle. Loomis and Rachel chat and he says there's nothing wrong with being afraid. Rachel worries, leaving her here alone. Rachel and Tina walk the dog and make it to Rachel's house. The dog is barking at something in the woods until they go in the house. Shout out to Shane Walsh. Rachel feeds Max and preps to take a shower. Jamie begins tweaking during art class as Loomis watches on. Max keeps barking as Myers enters the house because fuck shutting and locking the door, right? Jamie signs for Max as Rachel runs to the phone. Loomis checks on her and asks if Max is okay. Go check in now, he orders. Rachel goes downstairs and finds the door open as we see Myers in the background. She grabs the phone and tells Loomis Max is gone. He orders her out of the house and to go next door immediately. All right, Brian, that's the opening set of scenes. What'd you think?
All right, the original script here had Myers literally being struck by lightning and being brought back to life like Friday 6 or like Frankenstein. God damn, seriously, Dominique is just a bad writer. I mean, that's all there is to it. But anyway, so our guy just laid there for an entire year, eh? That was my Canadian I guess. But he had the same clothes, same everything. And then he just kills the guy and puts on a different looking mask, by the way, than what we literally just saw him have in the refreshing of the ending of Halloween 4. And we have this psychic connection, apparently, and the thorn symbol, which would have been fine if just left unexplained, in my opinion. Like, just, I don't know. Why do you even show any of this? Like, what the fuck? Just have Jamie waking up with nightmares of her uncle. I mean, God. Poor Loomis, too. I mean, you'd think watching this that he's just old and getting crazy, but then you watch 6 and it's like, holy shit, how are you even still in this franchise, man? Honestly, it's like watching Patrick Stewart nowadays, or even Harrison Ford. And yes, I did just compare Donald Pleasance to those two, so fuck you. It's worth noting he hated the script too, and apparently the way that Dominique wanted him to play the character. But hey, dollar bills, y'all. That's the only thing I can think of. And I'm sure we all feel this way, but Wendy Kaplan's Tina, one of the worst characters in the entire franchise. I don't think I'm exaggerating with that one. It is nice to see Rachel back. Like we've said, our interview with Ellie Cornell, don'tgooutthere.com. But I think everyone hated their characters in this. Ellie said as much in our interview, and I think, and as in the past as well, in other interviews, and we'll talk about it more next set of scenes. But Ellie is only in this movie for like 20 minutes. And being that she still receives third billing in the movie, I mean, I think it's safe to say everyone signed onto this under rushed circumstances. I mean, no script. They were writing it as they were filming, and a lot more money than the last one. And I mean, we said it was released in under a year from the last one. So, I mean, and I wonder if her here walking with just a shirt on is a nod to Kinmont from the last one. Kathleen Kinmont's also a friend of the show, by the way, because her character has been written to basically be this strong-willed Nancy Thompson type in 4 to basically Kinmont's character from 4. I don't know. Cops do it by the book. I just know that. And I don't know, maybe I'm giving Dominique too much credit there. Who knows if he even watched the last one. Anyway, well, this was a set of scenes for sure. Can't wait for it to get better. Woo!
Okay. All right. So, in the words of Dustin, Lord bear me strength. Look, I hate this open right off the bat. We get no old school pumpkins. It's a shittier version of the Carpenter score. And I don't know, it may have been the same, but it didn't sound the same to me. So fuck this movie. No, cool pumpkin open or anything like that. Nothing good happening here in the open. One small positive that it did try to do is pick up immediately after where 4 left off. I've complimented the Friday franchise in those first 4 films that they do that, and I really like that they do that. And so now this picks up right where 4 left off, which is a significantly better film. October in Illinois, and by the way, we all mentioned this in Halloween Ends. But one, how the fuck is he staying in the slums, the gutters, not freezing his ass off, dying, frostbite? And now he's he's floating down a river. Man, he's dying of hypothermia anyway, man. Michael Myers should have been dead like 30 times already. We're a year later, and Jamie Lloyd is still in a facility. Like, I could buy it for a little bit, I guess, if they had. But this just is not the direction I would have taken this character. You had a really cool twist ending that hits perfectly with what I think you could have picked up where this, in this film. And instead, we get her not being able to speak. She's the most interesting character if you use her correctly. And now she's not speaking for half the film. Makes no sense creatively, directionally, writing, none of it. Stupid as fuck. And that's no knock to Danielle Harris. by the way, who is a great child actor in this movie. The scenes where she has to cry and show emotion and things like that, I think she's actually great. But she's not given a whole lot to do, and even she hates this movie for the most part. So there you go. Loomis is so poorly written here. I almost get mad at Donald Pleasance throughout the film. I know it's not his fault, but he is given significantly shitty stuff to do. I don't even know why Loomis is here. Why is he bothering these two? Right? Like he's like the fucking party pooper in the hospital room that won't even let this group of girls have a little fun. I mean, they've had a shitty year clearly, and he just like walks in and everybody's mood immediately gets sucked out of him. So also we get a fucking Tina appearance, which fucking Tina, man. I still don't understand that one. We'll get to that. Just another great character again here in Rachel. You mentioned it, Nico, with Ellie Cornell. She should be the star of this movie. And honestly, if you did it right, could have been the star of the next movie, right? Like the new girl for this franchise, and and we know they're about to kill her off. It just makes no sense. Barely, it's not even 20 minutes into the movie, and we kind of already know that's coming. And something else I don't like that was added later. It's always been hinted at that Michael has a supernatural edge, but like Carpenter has said countless times, he has a supernatural edge, but he's still a guy. And that's, to me, the tone that Halloween 2018 nailed. Now they kind of fucked it up in the next two because he's just unstoppable, unkillable. But, he has that edge, but he's still a guy. Here, he has this psychic link with Jamie and their family and related, and I don't know. And, I know that Rob Zombie does it in Halloween 2 with Laurie Strode. I didn't like that direction either in that movie. So this is even worse than that is, in my opinion. So all in all, just right off the bat, shit set of scenes. Fucking hate it.
So I actually do like I'll give credit for something in the open here. I do like the quick cuts during the opening credits. Like that does a good job of setting the tone up top. It's violent. It's sharp. Like I like that. But immediately after that, the hate starts. I know it's a callback, but Michael just standing there letting her mow him down in the truck always pisses me off. What kind of mom just lets their kid, or what kind of a guardian lets a kid touch a presumed dead body, regardless of the history between the two, but especially if it's Michael Myers? What are we doing? That is why women are bad people. Another example. I will give Michael a slight edge over Jason Voorhees in one aspect. Jason wouldn't have floated down that creek, with his water phobia and all. So he'd have just had to lay there. But then what kind of a hobo has a parrot? Man is eating stew out of a pot like typical hobo fashion, but he's got an exotic bird. This movie has lost me at this point. We're 5 minutes in. Add to that, I have no clue how Michael got in the shack. Like he was outside, the mountain man was outside for 15 seconds, didn't go more than 5 feet from the door, yet somehow Michael slipped in behind him. Okay. I do like that we get, POV shots following that from inside the mask. I think that's a great callback. The logic, though, of Michael's evil transporting to Jamie, that's ludicrous to me. Loomis, not ludicrous, Loomis advocating for the doctor to let a child die, that's insane. He said, let the Lord sort it out. He didn't know she'd be okay. He is not that kind of doctor. Also, it did dawn on me here in this open that George McFly would have had a field day in the Halloween universe. The ability to be a peeping Tom right up to the window in broad daylight and even get inside the house and not be caught, that's George McFly's dream scenario. But yeah, not a good start so far. That's Back to the Future, Nico.
Yeah. I've seen the first two. First one's really good. I'm not a big fan of the second one. All right. Rachel goes to Mr. Cornish as Myers watches on. The cops exit the house, the silly clown music giving the all clear. Max comes back and Rachel says she's so embarrassed. Rachel calls Jamie and comforts her as Loomis says she's all right. He takes Billy away and Loomis has Jamie right. We see Rachel doing her hair and getting dressed. Michael is lurking and we hear Max barking. Rachel sees Max barking outside and she hears glass break. She looks through the house and finds a picture frame of Jamie broken with blood on it, and Michael emerges and stabs her with scissors. Jamie begins to convulse and Sheriff Meeker snaps on Loomis after he brings his daughter up. He shows him his burnt hand as another officer tells Loomis he's needed at the cemetery. Tina makes it to Rachel's house, but no answer at the door. She finds Max tied up out back and gets the key to go inside, but doesn't even use it. It's unlocked, strangely. She calls for Rachel, but still no answer. She goes upstairs and answers the doorbell, but no one's there. She's jump scared by Samantha as they celebrate having the house for the weekend to themselves. They leave without getting Max any of that water she promised. Terrible person. Michael watches them leave as Tina doesn't see him hide away. Sam and Tina are walking, talking about boys, as Jamie continues to toss around the bed. Tina offers to let them have the house to themselves as Michael casually hides behind some tree branches. Mikey pulls up in his hot rod and they jump in his car. Tina says they can go see Jamie later. They speed off as Jamie gets out of bed. She looks outside the window and sees Michael. She falls backwards and walks the halls until Myers appears outside of the door. She runs downstairs through hanging laundry and makes it to a cubbyhole, but a maintenance worker finds her. She motions at him, but he gets her down and the nurse puts her on her back and takes her back upstairs. Loomis says, "You have to help me find him." He grabs her saying, "You have to help me find him. You know where he is. Why are you protecting him?" He yells at the little girl. The nurse tells Loomis to leave her alone. He says, "We can find him together. He has power over her." All right, Brian, it's the next set of scenes. What do you think?
First of all, are you fucking kidding me with these two officers and this fucking Andy Griffith show dum 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 soundtrack? God, I'm shaking my fucking head right now, man. And Rachel's senseless death. Look, at least he knows he fucked up because Okada said that one of the biggest regrets in the franchise was killing off Rachel, but said he wanted to show that nobody is safe from Myers. Okay, how'd that work out? Can we also talk about how he's killing people on October 30th? Halloween is on the 31st, man. Look, I only want my Myers killing on the right holiday. Damn. Fun fact, and I think we talked about this in an interview. I don't know, it was so long ago. But Rachel's death was supposed to be by having scissors shoved down her throat. Okay. Ellie didn't like it and wanted it to be changed. But also I know that they were battling the damn MPAA, so I'm sure he wouldn't have wanted it any other way. I don't know. I talk later about all the kills that they neutered there too, so we'll get into that. But it is cool to see Meeker back. Bo Starr, Sheriff Meeker. But honestly, I wanted a little more like with that, like with him being upset a little bit more over losing his daughter. It's the anniversary of her death in part 4, kind of like Brackett in Halloween 2 with Annie. So I don't know. I needed a little bit more, right? But that would have entailed some writing and some character arcs, which Dominique doesn't know how to do apparently. Blah blah, just blah blah. With the rest of this, I mean, it's kind of interesting when Tina looks back at Rachel's house. Like you can see Michael move just a bit in the window, and I was like, "Huh, that's new." I mean, but with this movie, who even knows if that was on purpose or not? And Tina didn't see that. Okay. And Mike, God, not our Mike, the fucking Wish.com Fonz that we get here. Oh my God. Like, I have nothing good to say. Just unreal character choices here by everyone associated with this abomination of a Halloween entry. And we end this set of scenes with Crazy Loomis. I seriously, like Crazy Loomis. Like, we're in almost parody territory now, man. Loomis has, I mean, to me, Loomis has so much. I would think that he would have a lot of power in this franchise. Like, he would be like Jamie Lee Curtis coming back or something, being in every movie. I would think that if he didn't like his character, like, which apparently he didn't, why not just buck it and say, no, not doing it that way. Like, I mean, I think Akkad would have sided with him. I don't know.
Dustin already talked about it here. We start with this fucking clown music with these cops. Fuck, man. Just embarrassing shit, man. Halloween franchise out here embarrassing me in front of the homies. Man, every time me and Nico go back and forth with Jason and Mike, I can't imagine. Look, you could say that Jason went to space and that was bad, but somehow this cop music shit is worse to me, man. Fuck this. This is pisses me off. And by the way, I've already talked about it. Loomis is just constantly harassing this little girl. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? He is like yelling at her in her face. Clearly the girl's having a hard time speaking. You don't have to get all up in her grill and yell at her, you old fuck. What's wrong with you? And then they do the unthinkable, the unnecessary. They kill off Rachel, and shout out to Michael Jacobs and Dustin in the words of Eric Matthew. Rachel! Sorry, I had to do that at least once. killing her off makes zero sense. And it made me even more mad, like I talked about, listening to and reading the book Taking Shape. The writer-director just basically decides to do this for shits and gigs. Has no story reason for it, no climactic build, nothing. Just kills her off. And Ellie Cornell, actually, when she found that out, got a raise and had her kill tamed because it was much more gruesome and she didn't like it. So at least she got paid better for being in this movie because I'm sure she didn't want to be associated with it too bad. And now we get our final, but not actually final girl, Tina. Just one of the worst characters in franchise history. It's no one, it's not the actor's fault who I didn't look up to see who it was. I mean, you do the best you can, but this character is bubbly and annoying. And, that's something that this movie does. And I talk about it in the next set of scenes, but I know the original 78 Halloween had a group of teens and, even 81, right? I mean, even in Halloween 2. But, this is a different time, and we've the lore of that movie had already kind of been hovering over the franchise, and I feel like this movie takes the Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th approach where we just shove these random annoying-ass teens into a movie where they don't fit. It's not necessary. They're not needed to continue this story. Your story was with Jamie Lloyd and how to wrap that story up, and you just did a terrible fucking job. More Loomis screaming at a child. And this is my last thing, Dustin. We're finally acknowledging for the first time that she stabbed her. And by the way, they said stepmom. That's not her stepmom. It's written incorrectly, and they do that twice because they call Rachel her stepsister. Not the case. They're just foster or adopted sisters, and that's her adopted mom. It's not step. I don't know where that came from, but Michael Jacobs, do some research, man. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, we've already said it. I said it in the open, but the sound effects when the cops were leaving are egregious. A clown whistle and horn. Just give me a break. It's good to see a young Mike Settle cameo as he played Billy. Explains the wealth. Those residual checks still clear. Sorry.
Buddy, I fucking wish. I wish.
Decent tension and camera work as Rachel hears Max barking and the picture frame breaks and she navigates the house. But a pretty lame kill here, like one stab to the shoulder. That's all we get. I hate the first-person shot from inside the house when Tina gets there because by its logic, he was standing in clear view as she ran past the house and looked at the window, and the curtains were open. And then when she goes inside, she'd clearly be able to see him as he looked through the doorway from the living room and she walked by facing that direction. Come on. And she didn't see his arm and body move when she looked back at the house when she was leaving. We saw it. So when you present something from that perspective, if the viewer sees it, then the characters on screen should be able to see it. Come on. Good camera work as Jamie runs through the house after seeing Michael. It's frantic. It really adds to the tension, so there is a positive there. Hiding directly under a light that's shaking because you just hit it, that is all-time levels of kid stupid. So that made a lot of sense. Loomis just being an absolute madman, just shaking a kid while yelling at her and then knocking over a bedside tray. That's just wild behavior. This guy's a psychiatrist. Like, he knows the traumatic effects and the long-term effects of scaring the bejesus out of a little kid. What are you doing? There's some good here, but overall it's just not good.
Bus stops and we see a man in black exit the bus and everyone stares. Loomis makes it to the old Myers house, pistol drawn. He wanders the home. Have you come home, Michael? He gets to the laundry chute and looks down but sees nothing. We see the man in black in the home with some odd tattoo upon his wrist. Loomis makes it to the basement and looks into the chute again and a possum corpse rolls out. Tina and Sam run out of the school as Mikey wipes his car clean. He's jump scared by Tina as the two kiss. Sam's boyfriend, Spitz, comes out and kisses her as the cops pull up. Mikey asks how many cases they can get, and Spitz tells him to pull around back as he snaps on him for touching his car. Mikey backs behind the store, and they load the beer up. Michael appears and uses a garden tool to scratch his car. Mikey is mad as hell and confronts him. Myers grabs him by the throat and slams the claw into his head and drags him away. We're with Jamie, who is getting all dolled up as Billy brings her some flowers. He gives her his bracelet, too, Riz level 100. She kisses his cheek, and my man's blushes. Doctor thanks the parents for their support as they have a couple's costume contest. Man in black makes it to Tina's place, and they honk the horn for her. Michael has the door locked, but eventually lets her in. He's got the goofy mask from earlier on, as Tina says she loves barbaric men. She starts getting sketched out and leans in to kiss him. She says it's creepy as Jamie begins tweaking again. She almost falls over the ledge and passes out. The man in black heads towards the house. Tina asks what she did wrong, but still no answer. Michael slams brakes and backs into the convenience store. Jamie says store as Loomis orders them to call Meeker. Jamie describes the store and says, "Cookie woman?" Bill's gas station is said over the radio as Michael swaps masks. Tina heads to the car, but she's stopped by the police. She's ordered to get in the car and go to the clinic. Mikey's car is gone now, and she gets into the cop car. Loomis greets Tina, and she hugs Jamie. Jamie says her name again and hugs her. She begs her not to go, but Tina has to go party. She's aching for a quaking. Tina says she loves her as Jamie weeps. Loomis begs her to stay, but Tina needs to party. Loomis asks the cops to follow her at the very minimum. She asks for a ride to the Tower Farm if they're going to trail her. Mikey follows behind them as Jamie says, we have to help Tina. The man in black is nearby as the nurse tells Loomis Jamie isn't in her room. All right, Brian, so next set of scenes, what do you think?
Okay. The man in black, and not Tommy Lee Jones or Will Smith. The man in black here. He's getting off the bus. You know, I mean, really and truly leaving him completely like up in the air and never explaining him. I probably would be on here going, we never got an explanation for this guy. But you know what? It's better than what we end up getting. But like I said earlier, I just ignore this the Thorn plot for the most part. And what gets me the most is that they had no idea either at this point. Like the writers hadn't even completed the script at this point, nor decided any identity for this guy. He was just thrown in there to fix some plot issues, and to me, they made it worse. It was cool to see the same drugstore back though from Part 4. Maybe he's going there to get another one of those terrible Part 4 masks. I don't know. Fun fact, that's actually Don Shanks playing the Man in Black here too. I wrote MIB, but I don't know, Men in Black, whatever. We talked about that some in our interview, I think, with Don Shanks. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. Sidebar, that was a bizarre ass interview. I don't know. I'm not going to slander anybody, but let's just go with bizarre. Yeah. Nico, I know Nico was on that with me. I know he agrees. Anyway, it didn't matter who was wearing the Man in Black suit because it's not even the writers knew any reason for the dude being there. So I don't know. I'm just tossing my hands up at this point, to be honest with you. And can we talk about this Myers house? I'm sure we all noticed that this is clearly not the fucking Myers house. Like, what? First of all, no way he can't hear the loud ass man in black. I don't know, man. He's old. Maybe Loomis couldn't hear him. But who apparently is in this fake Myers house too. But then we cut to Myers, and let's talk about Myers just being out in the fucking middle of the day, like walking around. And like, first of all, again, not even Halloween yet. Did I mention that? Second of all, like, I know he did this in the first one with Lori and Annie, but that was a more secluded area at least. Like, he's just like the most conspicuous person in the world walking around not on Halloween with this mask, which is why I brought that up. And I don't know, though. Not a bad kill with Mike here, but I talked about kills being trimmed down because of the MPAA. This was one of them. Like, there was a shot of Mike quivering on the ground after Michael stabs him in the head. And actually, it came through on my on whatever version I watched off Amazon, since I don't have any physical media in there. Shout out Dustin. But he did quiver around. So I don't know. Maybe they cut it off in the theatrical version. But I mean, I don't know. That's stupid anyway to cut regardless. Come on, MPAA. And last, the lowest of the low for this movie, in my opinion. I don't know. Maybe that comes later. But Myers driving the Camaro and wearing the weird guy mask. That, by the way, was originally going to be Ronald Reagan mask, like Point Break. And this whole shit with Tina, just the absolute fucking worst. I mean, he stopped and picked her up at Rachel's house, honked the horn. I'm done. Like, at least it is Halloween, though. Oh, and let's throw in the Jamie finally talking again for Tina. Tina, not Rachel, but Tina. Okay, who even is this? And Tina just being rescued from a killer to leaving again to meet back up with said killer at this party. Like, what are we doing?
Oh, look, the fucking Man in Black is here. Awesome. Just the best shit ever, except not the best shit ever, the absolute worst shit ever, because it ruined the franchise, because we got another film after this completely, basically, about the Man in Black and some stupid fucking cult. And again, like I've already mentioned, just inserted it in there willy-nilly. Great, interesting character. I'm just going to put it in here and let the next people that make the next movie figure it out. The fuck, man? He's the kind of employee that nobody likes to work with. Fuck that guy. I will say, small positive, I never mind returning to the Myers home. I know it gets old for some people, but I actually think it makes good background and atmosphere for the movies to play out. So I like it. And then we get the dreaded Cult of Thorn sign on the arm. Just fuck, man. Ugh, such dog shit. We get more teen stuff here. This guy kind of looks like he's 30, He's shining his car and then making out with Tina. I mean, I understand Tina's not bad looking or anything. I'm just saying. And then we haven't really talked about this mask as much as 4, right? Where the majority of that movie we spent. This would be so much better if it had a good mask, but it doesn't have a good mask, and neither does this. This mask really, really sucks, and we get a good look at it here, really, for the first time, and it's awful, man. It's so bad. Not a bad kill of Mikey, or the character of Mikey here. I guess Busta Rhymes stole the Trick or Treat line from him in what is also a better movie, by the way, for you haters, okay? And I'm not a big Resurrection defender, okay? But it is significantly better and more enjoyable than watching this piece of shit. I touched on the Man in Black, but the reason I hate it so much is because there's never a reason to introduce a second antagonist in a Halloween movie. Michael fucking Myers is in this movie. Like, why do I need somebody else to also not like? It's just like Dr. Sartain in 2018. Why? Like, I know you're kind of there to get the two characters back together, but like, I don't need another bad guy. Like, we have the ultimate bad guy in our movie already. Just really fucking stupid. I know Dustin loved this, but shout out to the ones at Smith Grove that taught Michael how to drive. This man was whipping that thing, dude, all over Haddonfield. He was fucking number 3. Watch out for that turn, though. Anyway, sorry, that was mean. That was so mean. I apologize for all you Earnhardt guys. I shouldn't have said that. Tina, just really fucking stupid character, annoying as shit. And then all this stuff with her, I just don't care. It's so fucking boring. And I remember watching it with you in the pandemic, and we were both like, this is fucking terrible. This is so boring. Like, who gives a shit about what's going on with Tina? Like, and it didn't get any better. So I will say, last thing, Loomis lets out a dies tonight, which I guess my man Loomis is the one that started the trend, man, because Evil dies tonight. Lots of stuff dies tonight, apparently. And my hope for the Halloween franchise almost died with this movie. Go ahead, Dustin.
Yeah, Loomis rumbling, stumbling, bumbling around through this building. Like, brother, you shot him 6 times and he didn't die. You really think going to find him alone is the best course of action? I mean, a dead possum in the laundry chute almost gave you a heart attack. Let's be serious here. The cops driving by Mikey and the gang outside the grocery store. Another thing that pissed me off. Why did they hit the siren? What was that about? Cops don't just do that. Just, there's some people on the sidewalk. Whoop, whoop. No. I do like Michael creeping up behind Mikey in the background. That was good camera work. Like, that was just a cool shot, because that makes sense. He wouldn't have seen Michael walk up behind him. And then gnarly kill. I love that kill. The garden claw to the head. I loved it. The Man in Black walking up, looking at the house in the streetlight, that gave Exorcist vibes when Marin walked up to the house. I thought that was a cool shot. I don't like the Man in Black storyline, and the lack of direction in this movie that storyline has, but that's a cool shot. The long coat, the bag. Anyway, the rest of the scene, man, just drags to me. Cutting back and forth from Tina and Michael to Jamie. Like, it just felt so drawn out. And like you said, Mike, I don't care. And why would Michael let Tina go get cigarettes? That doesn't seem like his style. He's got her in the car, kill her. Look, what are we doing? I'm ready for it to be over, man, but we're like halfway through.
Jamie is outside wandering as Billy joins her. We have to find Tina, and Billy says she's at the Tower Farm. Tina is partying, and Samantha asks, "Where's Mike?" The cops are outside as Mikey's car pulls up, guns blazing. Both cops agree it didn't seem life-threatening, so they played cards instead. Great cops here. Back to the party as Michael watches from the outside. Sam runs outside screaming as we see Michael, but it's a prank with Spitz. The cops are furious but admit they're lousy as the circus noise returns. Spitz chases them into the barn and scares them playfully. They chase after a kitten, but Sam and Spitz stop to make out. Michael has entered the barn, and Tina closes the barn door. The kitten jump scares Tina, but she kind of sees Michael lurking in the background. She calls for Sam, but she's scared again as Spitz throws a hay bale at her. Sam kisses on another kitten as Tina leads them two to have at it. Sam looks for Spitz and threatens to leave. She's knocked over by Myers, but it's Spitz again. She's ticked off, but they start kissing. He lays her down in the hay as Jamie and Billy keep running to the farm. Spitz is kissing on Sam's body until she says, "No, I don't have any protection." He shows he has a condom, and they proceed until the real Myers appears with a pitchfork. He stabs straight through Spitz's back, and Sam is horrified as Myers appears with a scythe. She grabs a pitchfork and tries to stab him, but whiffs terribly, and she's killed. Myers exits the barn, and the cops order him over. He walks over with the pitchfork as the cops blame the parents for the lack of respect. The party ends abruptly as the kids cut through a field. Tina goes back to the barn looking for Sam and Spitz. She asks if they want to come skinny dipping until she finds a bloody kitten and the bloody scythe. Spitz body rolls on her, and she runs outside screaming for help. She runs to the cop car and sees that the cops are dead as well. Jamie arrives yelling for her as Michael chases after her in Mikey's car. Myers is driving like he stole it, chasing her through the field, running everything over. Myers goes to run the kids over now, and Billy dodges him. Jamie is chased, and this car has more off-road ability than most trucks seemingly. Myers wrecks the car into a tree, and Jamie falls to the ground. Bryce, next set of scenes, what'd you think?
So this is probably the best part of the movie here to me, at least some scenes. Ignoring here that Myers just drove to this party out of the blue. But the party in the barn part here, it's kind of my favorite parts of this, at least most of this very shit movie. And let's ignore how this party dude just got the exact Part 5 mask. No, not some rip-off mask. No. That would make too much sense. But the exact mask that Myers somehow got, that, by the way, did I mention, changed from the last one just instantly while he was sleeping for a year? Okay, can you tell that bothers me? But once again, they get in the barn and try to get that fuck on with Myers stalking them. And it actually grabs my attention in the suspense here for a hot minute. I don't mean just the sex part. Come on, guys, come on. No. I mean the whole cat and mouse game in the barn there. Even got me with the fake out kill and the eventual pitchfork kill for this guy that I've already forgotten his name. Now, Samantha's kill. We got a slice and we don't even get to see it used? God dang. As you probably imagined, another neutered kill. It was originally supposed to go through her forehead in the face, which would have been cool and different to see. So, again, fuck you, MPAA. Oh, and then we get the most hilarious part of this fucking movie. I mean, seriously funny. Chasing Tina and the kids with the Camaro. Oh my God. That is the funniest shit. It is so bad. They're running in straight lines, which is whatever. But Myers is either driving 0.001 miles per hour or they're running like fucking Captain America's super soldier speed. And Nico and Mike, you know that reference? It's the funniest shit, though. Oh my God. Seriously. I mean, it's like 2 to 3 minutes of actual screen time watching a car chase down the people through a field and woods. And by the way, never hit anyone, just a tree. It's the stupidest shit in a movie full of absolute stupid shit. Is this movie over yet?
You know, you mentioned something when you ended there, Dustin, which was we're only halfway through this thing. Oh my God, bro. Like, you know, for a movie that's only 90 minutes, which is my sweet spot, as you guys know, which is one of the few positives, this movie feels like it's 2 hours. It's awful. And now we have a fucking buddy cop movie going on during our goddamn Halloween movie, for fuck's sake. Honestly, this prank that they pull here is cruel as fuck because Tina knows the people involved in these Myers killings and stuff and still took part in that shit. Like, man, I hate the character of Tina. I need Myers to fillet this bitch on screen this time. I will give a shout out to the line that was a little bit meta. Maybe Michael Jacobs wrote it, I hope, about the virgin final girl. I thought that was nice. Nice little Mike Loves meta moment for me. These fucking, look, I'm not like a cat hater like some people, but I do hate meowing constantly. And so this was like a minute and 10 seconds of just meow all over this barn fucking annoyed the piss out of me. I was already annoyed, so there was no chance of that not making it worse. Then we get one too many fake outs with this fake Michael Myers, especially when I'm looking forward to these people dying on screen. Like, come on, kill these fucking people already. I will say shout out to these two hooking up. You know, if you're going to, you know, be part of a terrible movie, you might as well get some little sex out of it. That's all I'm saying. It was a little bit uncomfortable to watch, though. I don't know why. It was like really intense. I don't know. Not a fan. Like I've said on the show, I think a couple weeks ago, actually, more pitchfork kills. That's what I'm talking about, man. Give me all the pitchfork kills that you can think of. I love it. I'm just so ready for this shit to be over. There's zero suspense and tension when the person being chased is Tina. Like I feel nothing. Like we've gotten so far away from the original Halloween 78, even 2, hell, even some of the stuff in 4. I don't know what we're doing here. Michael's driving all around. You know, he's not quite as good as my man Jeff Gordon. Shout out to the GOAT, but he is driving all over town. So, again, tell me why this movie had to be done without, you know, why we couldn't do this with Jamie and Rachel. I don't understand what the fuck we're doing here. That's all I had. This scene I was just so ready for it to be over, man.
I love how Michael decided to change back to his, you know, original mask since the last time we saw him. Like, why even put the other mask on to begin with then? That was dumb to me. The stupid horn honk sound effect when the cop said, "Fortunately, we're lousy cops. Go to hell, man. Let's go directly to hell. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. The kitten chasing scene pissed me off too. It was just too long. And the kitten jump scare was dumb. Add to that, we know Michael is there. We've seen him. And they still give us the fake out with Spitz pretending to stab Sammy. Okay. But then they do finally got, thankfully, even though her kill was a slash and all we got was a blood splatter on the hay. Hated that. The cops get killed. And honestly, yeah, they weren't doing anything except being stupid anyway. So good. Did Tina not think about taking their guns though? Like this, she found the dead bodies. They're cops. They have guns. Take the guns, dummy. Speaking of dummies, Michael is a horrible driver. Crashing into a tree like that, and I've never in my life seen a car explode from a collision that occurred at 5 miles an hour. He is sitting on a gold mine once he sues the car manufacturer. But we're moving along.
Jamie lets out a sigh of relief as she yells for Tina. The horn stops finally as we see Myers emerge. Jamie is terrified and crawls away. Michael goes to stab her until Tina grabs him. That's all she wrote for Tina as she stabbed to death. Billy gets at Jamie and they scurry away. Loomis sneaks up on the kids and escorts them to safety. Meeker carries Jamie away, who yells for Tina. She sees her corpse on a stretcher as Loomis asks if she's going to help him. Jamie asks what he wants her to do. Loomis yaps into the woods at Michael that his rage that drives him won't go away. You have to fight it in the place that's strongest. Go to your house. I'll be there waiting for you. She'll be waiting for you. Jamie is brushing her hair as a cop watches over her. Meeker and other cops are surrounding the house and radio each other. Jamie starts tweaking over Billy, and Loomis sends Meeker to send units to the clinic. They all drive away, and Loomis tosses the radio into the bushes. Michael pulls into the driveway as the others depart. Loomis says to the cop they're not taking her anywhere. They are warned a cop approaches, and it rams into the back of the car, and the officer is killed by Myers. Loomis pulls a gun on Charlie and asks him to stay with the little girl. Michael is outside. Charlie blocks the door off and says they have to get out of here. Loomis wanders the house as Myers lurks in the shadows. Loomis sees Michael and says he knows why he came back. The little girl can stop the rage inside of him. Loomis asks if he remembers how good he used to be and says, "Let me take you to her." He tries to get the knife from him, but he's cut across the chest and tosses him. Charlie rigs a rope up so they can climb out the window, but Myers makes it into the room. Charlie opens fire on him and Myers turns away. He's back and he kills Charlie by hanging him. Jamie takes the opportunity to run. She can't get out of the house, so she gets into the laundry chute. Jamie prays to God he doesn't get her, and Myers looks into the chute. Jamie is terrified and loses her grip and falls below. All right, Brian, that's the next set of scenes, and the next set is the ending. Go ahead, brother.
So right off the bat, we get the last adult minus Loomis, who, and I mean, let's be honest, does he even really count as an adult at this point? I mean, seriously. But the last adult is killed here in Stupid Ass Tina, and we have like half an hour left in this movie. Oh, and what a half an hour it is. We get started in that half hour with Loomis telling Michael to go home. And apparently Loomis has not seen him fucking drive. Like, what? He would be there in 2 seconds. That man is fucking Earnhardt. But ergo, we somehow have time to assemble the entire police force to get Jamie to the house and set up something that looks like it would maybe take 2 hours minimum to set up and organize to trap Michael. And then we have this stupid ass reason, which is not a stupid ass reason. I mean, it's a legit reason to have all the cops leave and just basically leave our main 3 characters. But why? Like, just don't have them have time to assemble the whole police force at the fucking for this trap anyway. Just it makes no sense. That's ridiculous. Sorry. Another neutered kill here with Officer Eddie. Eddie, I think? Question mark. We were supposed to have gotten a shot of an embedded glass in Officer Dipshit's face here as well from punching through the window, but we don't. We do end the set of scenes on a really good sequence, though, the laundry chute scene. I feel like that this was done again in H2O. I can't remember. It's something like that. But this is really good, though. And fun fact, Jamie was originally stabbed in the leg, but was shot. The shot was cut from the film because the MPAA deemed it too disturbing. No, okay. Being stabbed in the leg was too disturbing. Okay. Danielle Harris kept the prosthetic leg, though, that they used for the cut scene for several years until she said on her podcast that she gave it to a cousin who lost it. There's also some behind the scenes in the laundry room shot where Danielle has spoken about in interviews that they use a real knife for shanks to stab through that thing and that she was in real danger. So, goddamn, that was stupid. But hey, Halloween 5, yay! Give it an ending, baby.
We're almost through the finish line, boys. We're almost here. Thanks for passing that off, Brian. This horn being laid on was about to piss me off. By the way, small side tangent. This is something that we still haven't figured out in 2025. I know this movie takes place a long time ago, but we haven't figured out, when someone just lays on the horn, it has to last until it's done. I don't know, man. Just feel like technology's come too damn far. But anyway, fuck you, Dustin. Anyway, back to the movie review that we're doing currently here, brother. The horn was about to piss me off. I hate just laying on horns. Tina with an actual moment of bravery, making her not fucking totally useless. Good for her. I mean, again, she's gone, so great. But good for her ending with a little bit of bravery and heroism. Again, Loomis is just always around where these people are. It's creepy. He's just a total lunatic in this movie, and not the kind of Loomis I want to see. So when I've said that before, actually, I believe we had some comments at some point that I was kind of praising the McDowell version from the zombie one about kind of taking a swing and giving us a different Loomis. That is significantly different than the Loomis that we get here. That is intentional. It was set up in the first movie in Zombies universe to have this kind of shitty dickhead Loomis. This is not that. He was normal Loomis in 4, and he goes back to being old man wise guy in 6. I don't know what this Loomis is doing. Anyway, the reason she wasn't willing to help you before, you old fuck, is she couldn't speak. She couldn't help it. There's nothing, that she... And, Pleasance doesn't phone in the performance, right? I mean, again, he's trying. In the book Taking Shape, they kind of talk about some of the stuff he was saying openly in the press to the public at the time about the director and his arguments and clashes with him. So shout out to Donald for being a real one for sure. These cops are terrible. They try to take credit for this operation, knowing they didn't have a damn thing to do with it. Fucking losers. This stuff with Billy and this fake out would probably be okay if it were in a better movie, but they didn't really establish him outside of he stutters. I stutter too, kid. You're not special. But they didn't establish him enough to make me care about him being in danger. I'll just be honest. I know it's a kid, so I probably should, but I'm on edge and annoyed, so they did not do that. And Mike stays still in cop cars, man. I feel like we see pieces of shit like him every fucking day. That's a Hangover reference, Nico. Loomis also, speaking of steal, he kidnaps a cop and a child. And he locks them in a room. What are you doing, man? This is so bad. It pisses me off. And I have a question. How come no one's called in the National Guard on Michael Myers yet? I mean, I feel like this small town of Haddonfield has not been able to handle this. At least with Jason Voorhees, they have called him in and shot his ass up, right? I mean, at least they've tried to do it. With Michael Myers, oh, we're just going to have this old psychiatrist chase after him. Give me a fucking break. I will say the use of Carpenter's score here is okay, I guess, if we want to go half positive. It's kind of hard to fuck that up, even though Rob Zombie did. But at least we're finally towards the end. Go ahead, Dustin.
That slow motion stab. Tina did not fight it at all. Where's your will to live, woman? That blade was coming at you in slow motion. Loomis pisses me off so much right here. He asked Jamie if she'll help him. She asked, what do you want me to do? And he walks off. Use your words like a big boy, Doc. What the? That pissed me off. We did get a pretty cool shot of Michael walking in the woods briefly, though, as Loomis was yelling into them. So it's not all bad. That was just a cool optic, but it's just mostly bad. Then Loomis goes back to being a psycho, smashing the radio and pulling his gun, pressing it to a cop's cheek. Like, why does he have so much leeway? I feel like in the real world, he would be in the pokey. I hate the slow motion effects that they added when the cop smashes the window. It's just so unnecessary and out of place to me. And then the cop, it's just a horrible shot. Michael is standing like 10 feet away, pal. How do you miss so many times? I am beyond ready for the ending.
Myers goes into the basement and tries to open the chute. Jamie climbs up the chute in fear as Myers pries the chute open. He stabs through it in a terrifying scene because little Danielle Harris was in danger. She uses the knife to spring up to the top and escape. She goes back upstairs and there are candles lit everywhere all of a sudden. Jamie bumps into Max, Mikey, and Rachel's corpse. She asks for Rachel to help her. How her body appeared there when nothing was there a second ago baffles me, though. She climbs into the coffin and Myers walks to her. She calls him Uncle and Boogeyman. Let me see as she points to her face. You look just like me, and we see a tear run down Michael's face. Unreal. She goes to wipe the tear, and Myers snaps and she runs away. Loomis is back and grabs her. He uses her as bait so he can trap Myers in a chain net and tranquilizes him. Loomis clubs him with a board over and over, yelling, die, but he doesn't die. Loomis falls over from a heart attack as the police arrive. Myers in a jail cell with his mask still on as Meeker says where he's going. Jamie says he will never die. The man in black is back at the jail as Jamie is put into a cop car. Explosion time as the man in black wreaks havoc. The cop goes back inside and Jamie follows. She sees dead cops everywhere and that Myers has escaped. Brian, that's the last set of scenes. What do you think, brother?
My God, thankfully we are almost here at the end. Okay, so we start in the attic here. Myers cries because of his love for his niece, apparently. Although, he's been trying to kill her. Okay. What? Yeah. Also, fun fact, Pleasance broke Don Shank's nose for real in this scene here. And again, I think we talked about that in the interview, where he's hitting him with a 2x4. Following that scene, though, because it was shot out of order, of course, special effects had to create like a fake nose weird thing in the mask. I don't know. It looked terrible, apparently. But guess what? Who cares? You can't make that mask look any worse, I don't think, truthfully. But instead of this being the real death of Loomis, like it was meant to be, we get this tacked on ending with Myers in jail with his fucking mask still on. I think I've talked about this with Jason, like Jason part 4, where he's fucking like in the morgue with his fucking mask still on. Seriously? Come on. They put Myers in jail with his fucking mask still on. And he's sitting in there like I said, like Andy Griffith style. Just ridiculous. No, instead of that being the end of Loomis, or the end of the fucking movie, here comes the man in black to kill everybody. And like cause some like serious John Wick style damage in literally like 2 seconds. I don't know, maybe 3 seconds. I don't know. It was quick. Honestly, Wick, Rambo, they have nothing on the man in black. Apparently, this dude is a fucking legend. And we get the death of Meeker, by the way, in this whole raid that we don't see. We only see the aftermath of the police station. Who Meeker, man, he survived 2 entire movies. He's become a relatively important character, and nope, dead off screen. And just some tacked on ending. God, I'm glad it's over. Fuck this movie, man. Right there with Jason next to me. Just awful.
Yeah, I don't blame you, Brother Brian. I don't blame you one bit. Admittedly, like I've talked about, I believe in some of our other times that we've mentioned this movie briefly, Myers chasing a little girl is more horrifying in the movie if she's by herself. So this is undeniably more terrifying than Halloween 4 as far as the scary aspect goes, because she's by herself. So I think this chase is actually pretty well done. However, the movie leading into it was a total shit bomb. And I don't even mind maskless Myers here, right? I mean, again, it's not the first time. It's not the last time we've seen Myers without a mask. Like, it's fine. I will say Loomis has burn marks from Halloween 2. Michael Myers has no burn marks from Halloween 2. Make that make sense. Don't understand that. Anyway, and then Loomis goes and kind of fucks this all up, right? As usual in this whole movie, he's fucking everything up for everybody. And why are these people constantly they spend their life trying to imprison Michael Myers? That's never worked before. Kill him. Chop him up into little pieces. Fuck, man. Dahmer was trying to have, Dahmer was running around at this time having people over for some brewskis. Send him to fucking Jeffrey Dahmer. He's in the Midwest. He'll chop his ass up. Jeez, man. This like, let's imprison him and study him and shit. Man, fuck that guy. Let's kill him. Come on. Anyway, this Man in Black thing is such fucking bullshit. How he gets out of prison really stinks. Just all of it's terrible because I know where it's leading, and I hate Halloween 6 as well. So, again, Danielle Harris does a good job here, but it's not her fault that the ending in the movie is totally fucking stupid. Last line I had in my notes was, fuck this stupid movie.
Great upper body strength from Jamie to pull herself up through that chute. Like, that was very impressive. When she finds the bodies and the dog, when did Michael have time to light all these candles? Because if he did it, a long time before we see him, that's a major fire hazard, and it's highly unlikely that they would still be burning with that much wax left. So that was stupid. I hate the whole Michael unmasking. You didn't mind it, Mike. I did, just because that moment of humanity that he had. He's crying, please. Like, he's emotionless. That's been the thing about him this entire franchise, and now he's shedding a tear. No. And how exactly did Loomis rig up this Home Alone trap? When? Oh, brother. And then even more, oh, brother, the cops let him keep the mask once they arrested him? Yeah, all right. Like, what? When would that happen? And then the mysterious Man in Black busts him out of the clink. Cool. Thank God it's over.
Whew, yeah, thank God. All right, let's jump into our social media comments and question, guys. I'll knock out Instagram first. K Scanlon 653 commented, I hate this one. It's the worst in the franchise after Halloween ends for me. They took everything that was great about Halloween 4 and shit all over it. They ruined both Jamie and Dr. Loomis, killed off a great final girl, and gave us an ungodly amount of terrible side characters that I couldn't stand. This movie blows with a laughing emoji. And I think I heard Mike just yell, preach, and he ran around his room like he was in a Pentecostal church. I think that's what just happened. All right, the next comment, guys, from Dana Tucker 48. I know y'all are going to destroy this one, but it hits me hard with nostalgia. Looking forward to the review. And Mike replied, I'm sorry, Dana, for what I'm about to say. And she says, I get it, but just one of those movies for me. Bring it on. And the last thing we got is from Optional 13th Ghost. Still a great name. Haven't seen you comment in a while, but what a great name. There were just so many bad decisions made with this film. The mask, the goofy score, making Danielle Harris literally mute for a majority of the film, killing off Rachel in an unceremonious way, replacing her with Tina, retconning the ending of the return of Michael Myers. I really just don't know what they were thinking with a facepalm emoji. Yeah, we get it, man.
Yeah.
Dustin, you got X and Blue Sky pulled up?
Yeah, Blue Sky, we didn't have any because I forgot to post on there, but we do have some. We do have some on X, the artist formerly known as Twitter. That guy, Millhouse14108, said, I get why you save the Friday films for an actual Friday the 13th and why you save Halloween films for Halloween time, but why do we start to celebrate dumpster fires as a holiday? This movie is worse than frying bacon in the nude. Happy spooky season, fellas. 3 out of 10. Love the show. And then Andrew Ferguson said, what's wrong with frying bacon in the nude? Asking for a friend. And then I said, it's all fun and games until your sausage gets popped with grease, but that's neither here nor there. Andrew Ferguson also said, the Keystone Cops, Rachel being killed off early, trying to make me care about Tina, Michael napping an entire year without treatment for multiple gunshot wounds, and Cookie Woman. So much fail. I did enjoy batshit crazy Loomis, though. And then last one we got is from Sean the Glee Man. Sean said, is this the worst movie of the big three, or is it even the worst movie in this franchise? And then Andrew Ferguson replied to him and said, Curse of Michael Myers is worse, in my opinion.
No.
The funny thing, personally speaking, I said earlier that I had this one ranked second to last in the Halloween franchise because at the time, 5 years ago, I had Halloween 3 ranked dead last. When we reviewed that movie, I came to my senses. And viewed it for what it was. It's better than that. So that being said, if you bump it up to where I would have it now, yes, this is the worst movie in the franchise to me.
Yeah, this was my worst movie then. So, in the franchise. Now, of the big three, no, Freddy's Dead still exists. It's still there. That movie still got made. That's the biggest pile of dog shit of the big three. Ugh.
Nightmare 3 is pretty bad, too.
Fuck you. I knew Fuck you, man.
That was bait. That was bait, and it worked.
I knew it was bait, but I can't let it slide. Like, in the words of Rick Derringer, brother, I can't let it slide.
Mike, you got Facebook pulled up?
I sure do. Mike from South Carolina wants to know why you guys hate your co-host, also named Mike, for making him watch this movie. And then someone from Don't Go Out There commented back, this is how business is done. What a fucking asshole. Michelle Mirza, big fan of the show. Shout out to Michelle. Yes! Exclamation points. I'm in that tiny group of people who enjoy this one. It has a lot of nostalgia for me, even though it's terrible. Happy Halloween, guys. Well, first of all, happy Halloween, Michelle. And I did write back and let her know that I was sorry as well for poo-pooing her movie. It'll be receiving a very low score. But I'm glad that there are people that enjoy it. There's a movie for everybody, as I always say. So that's great. Still not the worst movie we've done this year. Thanks a lot, Sean.
Yeah, not the worst movie I've seen either. Shout Screamboat. I will.
He's always gonna take a chance to slam the Screamboat.
I will say that I find it very interesting that of all the social media comments we had, 2 people said that they liked this movie, and both people chalked it up to nostalgia. So take nostalgia out of it. This movie is objectively bad.
Yeah,
they both say it was bad. I mean, nostalgia is a hell of a drug, man. It's the reason people want Jimbo Fisher back, and the reason I loved NBA on NBC last night, man. That was awesome. I don't even know if it was actually awesome. I just enjoyed it because I got to hear dun 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 dun. Yeah. So anyway.
All right.
Yeah, baby.
All right, let's jump into our fun facts. Dustin, you got any fun facts you want to share?
I got a few here. After filming for 2 weeks, so Donald Pleasance filmed all of his scenes in the first 2 weeks. He had a scheduling conflict afterwards. But after filming for 2 weeks, Donald Pleasance gave his much bigger trailer to Danielle Harris once he left set. Harris's mother had been complaining about the small size of her daughter's trailer, and Pleasance decided that she should have his. That's so noble. You know what would have also been more noble is if you don't wait until you're done with it. Like, go ahead, dude. Give her the bigger trailer if you want to be a nice guy. This was the lowest grossing box office in the entire series. And I know Mike's going to get to the budget, so I won't get into that, but that's incredible. Deservedly so. Don Shanks was originally set to wear the same mask that George P. Wilbur wore in Halloween 4 in order to retain the consistency between the movies. The mask did not fit Shanks, so a new one was made and looked like poop. This was the only Halloween movie never released in Italy, so shout out to Italy, man. They've got it good. They got Gucci, they got Ferrari, beautiful women, and they didn't have to see this movie. And then last one I've got is that Troy Evans played Charlie, Deputy Charlie in this movie, but he also played Podacter in the great classic movie Ace Ventura: Pet Detective, a movie that also starred David Arquette's ex-wife, Courtney Cox.
I got a fun fact to share, too, before you go, Mike. Shanks did all of his, and speaking of Don Shanks, go check our interview with him as well at don'tgoouthere.com. If you liked this movie or his portrayal, super nice guy, go check out his interview. Shanks did all of his own stunts in the film, including swimming in 30-degree water and crashing a car into a tree at 30 miles an hour and narrowly escaping the fire that ensued. So shout out to him. He was committed. And I know Mike knows this as well. I don't know if y'all mentioned it or not in the scene, but I can't remember. But like that scene with Danielle Harris climbing up the ladder chute, like he was really stabbing that knife through the ladder chute at her. So great coordination by the two of them pulling that off and her not getting hurt. Like, it's crazy to think back. Like, if you listen to Talk Scared Me podcast, which they quit doing that now, but if you listen to that show in the past, Danielle has spoken about that scene several times, and it's really crazy that little kid do that scene, like with a real knife getting stabbed through there. But
I know.
Anywho, Mike, go ahead and jump into the.
I had it right here.
He forgot the budget.
Oh, no, I didn't. It's right here. The production budget was $5 million, and like you mentioned, it made a domestic and worldwide $11.6 million, which lowest grossing entry in the franchise at the time, like you all mentioned already. So, just really the main reason why we got like a 6-year gap between 5 and 6. This movie was busted out in a year's time. So they were trying to follow the Friday the 13th model for a little bit there, and they did such a shit job rushing this movie to production that they waited 6 years to follow up with this film. So that's the reason why it took so long in between 5 and 6.
You know what they say: if you come at the king, you best not miss. You don't go at the goat like Jason.
I mean, some of those movies suck too, but you know, what can you do?
We're not talking about that right now, though. We're talking about coming at the goat.
Jason versus Carrie. The fuck. Anyway.
Hey, man.
Timu Carey.
R.I.P. to LARP Art Lincoln, by the way. Jesus. All right, guys, jump into our favorite kill, least favorite kill in the rating. Dusty, you want to kick us off?
Yeah, the favorite kill for me was Mikey. Like I said, Garden Claw to the dome. That was awesome, and we got to see it. So shout out to that. Least favorite kill was Sammy. Just an off-screen slash. Get out of my face. Rating, look, bad mask, bad story, bad editing, just overall bad. Danielle Harris was great in this movie, though. Like, to be a kid, and she was, I think, 12 at the time, looked much younger. But to be 12 and portray that much terror and just the facial expression, her movements, really top-notch acting from Jamie. That's the only good. Overall, this movie sucks. I gave it a 3.
Yeah, I'll go next. I agree with you. Favorite kill, Mikey with the garden claw, garden rake, whatever you want to call it. That was always been one of my, nostalgic scenes from the movie. Least favorite kill, I got to go with Rachel. Like, that's one of the best characters in the franchise, and you killed her off in a pathetic way. I mean, she should have been the final girl with Jamie throughout the movie. If you want to kill her at the end, that's fine, but I don't know. She deserved better than that. I pretty much tend to agree with everything Dustin said. Bad mask. You killed off the best character. You made Jamie Lloyd mute. Like, I just don't understand why you did a lot of things, writing and story-wise, and that doesn't even include the goofy stuff. Why is Michael driving this car around with a mask on? Like, and the boyfriend is only named Mikey, so she can call him Michael when she gets in the car. It's just dumb. I gave the movie a 3.75. I only gave it 3.75 because I do like it a little bit better than Nightmare 4, which I gave it 3.5. So 3.75 for me.
All right, my favorite kill, pitchfork kill to the nameless guy. I thought it looked good. My least favorite kill, Rachel or Max the dog. Terrible script choices to kill either one of them, especially Max the dog. Man, God, come on. I get having nostalgia for it if you do. Kind of like I do part 6, by the way, as a guilty pleasure. Personally, I skip this entry in any watch through. And hell, I mean, we have so many damn timelines in this franchise now, you can just do whatever you want to. I mean, it's like a video game. Choose the path you want. I mean, they're all not good paths if you go past 2 or 3 movies in one of them, but hey, you have choices at least. I'm going to start at 0 with this one, as far as my score goes, and go up to a 3.5 because of the laundry chute scene and the barn scene, which would be my lowest of the franchise, since I gave Ends a 3.75. So there you go, Mike. It is, in fact, the lowest rated of the series for me. Also, I would like to take this opportunity to plug my script treatment that is on the blog that we have on don'tgooutthere.com. I'm actually going to work on that as being a full script and look for me to release my prequel script for Scream coming out soon. So check that out. I would appreciate just, people reading it, shooting me some emails, let me know what you think.
Okay. Well, listen, man. My favorite kill is Mikey as well. Really the only kill worth a fuck in this film. And then my least favorite is Rachel, because why the fuck did you do that? and on that point, man, I've got everything I had written in my ending here. I kind of sprinkled throughout the movie because I couldn't help myself. But this movie got off to a bad start. I mean, it was 51 weeks and it was rushed to production, and it should not have been. Writer director combo just took what was handed to them on a silver platter and decided to just smash it with a fucking hammer and ruin it. I mean, this movie could have literally ended this franchise. It was so bad to me. And I think the people that showed up on that second week of release kind of agree with me. This movie fucking blows. Myers, the mask is awful. I don't think Shanks is bad. If I had to give a small positive, I don't think Shanks is a bad Myers. And Harris is good as Jamie Lloyd, but what they give Jamie Lloyd to do is embarrassing. Like I can't defend, I can only defend the Halloween franchise so much. There's some bad movies in it. To me, this is the worst of the worst. They don't even use Carpenter's music right. Tina is a fucking awful character. The kills are bad. They're hacked to death. It's a 90-minute runtime, and somehow it's still too fucking long. The writing is bad. The buddy cop with the fucking clown music shit is fucking ridiculous. Just so far removed from Halloween 1978. I can't believe that this movie got fucking made and had a Halloween logo slapped on it somehow. Just fucking terrible. One of the biggest pieces of shit we've ever covered on this show. I gave this movie a 1.75. I fucking hate this movie, and I hope I never, ever have to watch it again. Even in a binge, I'll skip it. Fuck it.
So, that was eloquently put, Mike.
Yeah, you unleashed on that. Nice.
That was Nico 3 from Hell Level, like you said in the chat you were going to do. That gives us a composite score of a 3. Not good. IMDb 4.9% or 4.9 out of 10, so we're lower than that, which those 4.9, that's too high. Letterboxd 2.1, also too high. Rotten Tomatoes, 11% of critics were on crack when they went to the theater and saw this movie and gave it a positive review.
And 13% were approved Saw 5, but 11% did Halloween 5. Like, that ticks me off. I'm not going to lie.
That makes no fucking sense, man. What the fuck?
But anywho, let's shout out our blood donors. And Dustin, you can announce your pick for next week as we conclude October. Blood donors, really appreciate y'all. Take a huge burden off of us. It means a lot to us. Help us pay these bills. Camper Level reoccurring, Nina, Michelle Mirza, Steve Schmidt, Matt from the UK, and Anthony Andrews. Camp Council reoccurring, Edwin Hernandez-Gunn, Joe Swinford, Adrian Aiello, Brian Samick, Andrew Ferguson, Brooke Maley, Heather Superdoc, Jennifer Davis from the Too Close to Home Pod, Dana Tucker, Cole McAlexander, Max K, Madison Arzola, Casey Smith, and new blood donor and, friend of the show, Amanda Pettyford. We really appreciate it. Help us pay these bills. It means a lot to us. We mean that. Dustin, announce your pick for next week.
Yeah, I didn't really know what to pick, but I've been watching a lot of old movies recently. Like I watched Shane the other day, Good Western. I've been watching movies like On the Waterfront. I've been watching a lot of old classic movies lately. And then I was like, we need to get back into that bag, because if there's one thing I know about Nico is that he loves movies made before 1996. So
yeah, this is fucked up. You know that, right?
I picked a movie that is widely considered to be one of the best horror movies ever. I went with 1968's Rosemary's Baby. Now, Roman Polanski, real scumbag.
Yeah, sure.
But we've reviewed Miramax movies, Harvey Weinstein, scumbag. You can't erase the impact a movie has because of a person who's not even on screen. He's just a director. I think it's time.
We did Jeepers Creepers. So
we did Jeepers Creepers, and he really is a creep, and he's on screen. No, different guy. But I think it's time. Rosemary's Baby. Let's knock out a classic. I know that since it was made in 1968, Nico's already going to go into it hating it, so I'm excited to prove him wrong.
I want to give it a chance. I'm not going to go into it hating. The reason you picked it was messed up.
That really is the reason I picked this, because I wanted you to watch a movie from like 75 or before.
Yeah, I know you did, you asshole. The old Dustin has come back, you dickhead. I'm going to pick Screenboat, by God. You can watch it.
God. I deserve it.
Hey, Hey, if Dustin ain't hating on Fuzz in the Lens, then he's dead then.
Yeah, if they have a million haters, I am one. If they have one hater, I am he. If they have no haters, I've died.
Yeah, exactly. We appreciate y'all tuning in. Halloween 5 was terrible. Can't wait for... we need to decide next year when we do another Halloween movie, Halloween 6. But anyway, we appreciate y'all tuning in, and we will be back next week with Rosemary's Baby.
Fuck Halloween 5.
Thank you so much, everybody. I'll see you next week. And in the meantime, take care of yourself.
Just want to remind everybody...